The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome to a very special edition of the Power Trading Hour. It's special because I'm here. And of course, you're here too at the right time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So what do we have going on today? Well, we're down almost 100 points on the S&P cash. Dow's 30's been down about a little more than 800 points. That's about 90% of the time where you'll find support come in. It may vary on the S&P and the NASDAQ, but just go back and look at how many times you find out that the Dow is down about 750, and you had some people step in, and it may not bounce much, but generally you find at least some level of support, and that kind of drifts off over into the rest of the market. So anyway, I was looking for a low somewhere around negative 800, and that's pretty much where we found it. I think, what did it go, negative 850 or so on the Dow? But generally, that's where it starts coming in. And so if you've got shorts that you want to get out for the day, I'm not saying go long. My guess is that we probably are looking for some kind of low Wednesday afternoon that may be a tradable bounce in the market. There are some reasons to think that we should be positive mid-term, but short-term, we saw a few things in the data on Friday and even on Thursday a little bit. Probably the biggest thing was the amount of dark pool volume compared to overall volume suggests that retail traders are selling rather vigorously compared to the guys that have been in the market for a while. Generally, when you see a good flush of retail traders, you're probably going to come into some kind of low. I do think the opportunity for a big bounce before Christmas still is there. There's a couple of reasons. One was not a study, what do they call them? A survey, a poll of people and what they thought the risks of COVID actually were compared to what they actually are. And it was amazing that we have somewhere around 40% of the people that are off by a order of magnitude on whether or not you get a hospitalization. It ends up, actually get it compared to whether you have to go into the hospital or not. People vastly overrating the issue. So I'm thinking that, like most of these in the past, eventually, I don't know what date it is, could be tomorrow at noon, could be 5 years from now. But whenever it's over, the reality of being at least nowhere close to reality could mean that we could have a very powerful bounce going forward. And again, without any vaccines in 1919 and 20, it just went away. The history of the world is kind of the same thing. I do think we have a little bit more travel now, and that gives the opportunity to get this thing maybe a little hotter than normal, and maybe also resolve itself a little bit faster. But those are some of the things I was looking at. When we left on Friday, I was talking about the dog that did not bite, and and actually the dog that did not bark. I don't know why I put bite in there. Probably thinking of what was his name? the Pink Panther. Inspector Clouseau asking if the dog bit, and the guy says no, and of course it bit him, and he says, it's not my dog. Well, we were talking about we should have had a significant bounce on Friday. We didn't have a lot of volume. The volume all came in the last 30 minutes, and it was rather spectacular. So we've got a few things like that going on. I had some notes that even before we started, I thought were fairly interested. Started on this decline. One of them was the NXP CFO who sold 75% of its holdings. So I don't know if this is the smartest guy in tech last week, thinking the world was headed lower. NXPI, I think it's the symbol, right? NXPI. Yeah, down $4. No, down $9, down 4%. So you may want to be keeping an eye on that. There's a lot of thought that particular stock is not going to get bought out in the last 75, 80 points up on that. Let's see. What do I have here real quickly? Anyway, the last 75 or so points up have all been on the back of the thought of a buyout in that, and that the CFO selling his positions is kind of a tacit affirmation that they are not going to get bought out like a lot of people think. Okay, so we got a few things like that going on here. Again, I'm not looking for any kind of significant low until Wednesday afternoon. My guess is you're staring at the Fed. Could the Fed come in overnight, throw some money at the problem? Could the Chinese do it? Yeah. The problem is I know what a lot of people are going to do. I don't know what a single Fed guy is going to do, or the Chinese Communist Party, who's really run by one guy. I think we're looking for around here to be support probably into Wednesday. And, of course, Wednesday at 2, we've got the Fed. We've got a few earnings coming out. I don't know if there's going to be a big thing. After tomorrow night, Lennar, I think it's tomorrow night, Lennar reports. And I think that's going to be fairly interesting. A lot of the sentiment indicators as consumer confidence and others, builders, those kind of folks, that has been going down for about 60 days. And we're finally starting to see some weakness in some of these things like the V in Q saying it. But anyway, is that right? Just update this stuff to make sure. Okay, we're down 836 is what I show here. Is that right? Yeah, 837. This is where you start looking for support. The only thing I can think of is that it's based on some kind of position, a percentage, and that maybe I may be at 800 a little bit too high. For a couple of years, it was 750 when they would start coming in. Anyway, no volume.
The Path of Least Resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month. And try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Are we back? I hope we're back. We're still playing the bumper. There we go. Come on. There we go.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1982, in a post made to a Carnegie Mellon bulletin board, Professor Scott Fahlman proposes the first known use of emoticons, also known as smileycons or smileys. Why the use of emoticons became widespread in the 80s and 90s, their origin remained unknown until September 10th, 2002, when the original message was retrieved from a backup tape, which displayed below some colons and a end parentheses. This smiley face. Now they're everywhere. I think we're kind of regressing back to Egyptian pyramid days. Everything's going to be a picture. Think kids are going to know how to spell? I don't think so. They're going to know how to throw a poop emoji at you. That's all they're going to be able to do. A virtual poop emoji at that. Okay, let's go ahead and get into some charts. Start looking. First question I have is for Rod, who wants to look and find out where the low is in Apple. So we'll take a look at that. Well, it's not as bad as you might think. Your biggest low was at 141.67. So that's another 20 cents lower that hadn't got there. With 120 million shares, you got 72 million shares at the time. My guess is that you're probably going to see some people start trying to do some bottom fishing here. And like I said earlier in segment 1, the A block, if you're into broadcasting, was that I suspect we kind of go sideways into the Fed at 2 o'clock. If he continues to rain on our parade, drop the chalupa or many other mixed metaphors, which I have not thought about yet, maybe you'll say, well, now with the current conditions, we can't yet again think about tightening. I think that might change and set a low in it. One of the other reasons I think we might find some kind of significantly tradable low is the amount of retail traders opposed to the amount of big street guys selling. And you can see that in the dark pool numbers coming down. Normally they run about 33 to 35%. We were down, 26% on Friday. Very significant amount of trading. And while you don't know exactly, you can probably infer that has a lot more to do with retail traders. So we've got scrambled chalupas. Sounds like a good chain restaurant name, doesn't it? You could have scrambled eggs and drop chalupas, but you will have to see that. Give me a call, 877-927-6648. Anyway, our first FANG stock, not to be confused with Fang Fang, the Chinese spy. What else do we have here? We have Apple. We'll look at Fascist Book. Also coming back down. Big day for this. You had more money really on Friday, but it's hard to tell how much of that was OPEX for triple quad witching. But you got significant volume down here, about another $3. You're going to actually hit that low at 347.70. Energy has been significantly more off that September 1st high than it was up to that high from that August 3rd low. So that actually does open up the 334.50 July 20th low. So another possible 16 or $15 lower. And of course, all these guys are standing around waiting to get served antitrust papers, which could happen at any time. NFLX. I was wondering how Disney and Netflix had done today. If you missed it, the wonderful Chinese Communist Party said that niet, another mixed metaphor between the Russians and the Chinese. If you live in Lutz, Florida, anyway, nice big dark candle back down. You're about $10 higher than support, so you may have a little bit more. Not a lot of volume. I think that a lot of these companies might be weak anyway. 2 new movies. I think they were both Disney movies. I don't know. I'll have to check on it. Both were banned in China. I remember when I was growing up, they'd always say banned in Boston. I don't know why it was always banned in Boston, but it was. Maybe somebody from Boston can tell me why they were always banning movies back then, but I was always banned in Boston. Anyway, a nice big candle down here for Netflix, and you have broken that part of the support. And yeah, I had a question about this one on whether or not it's a double repo pattern, and the answer is yes. You got just the close you needed on Friday, and as soon as you broke that low today, you would have wanted to be short this. That does suggest that you could go back to where it all started, and that is 510. So I would watch any of these very closely. Let's take a big look at Disney. I need to turn that off there. Big gap down for Disney. As I said, not exactly sure whose movies these belong to. It's something about the 10 Rings and something else. Both look like Kung Fu movies. But down, 5.5 million shares out here. You're going back out into some. It's not that much. Support probably comes in this gap from August 23rd higher. This one's a little less clear. It's a little more bumpy. Give me a call today, 877-927-6648. Okay. Question about Microsoft. Microsoft did crack down today, too. Volume's not as good as it was Friday, but you had a lot on a down day. The leaks for their shindig, I think, which is tomorrow. I'll have to go back and look at it. It's either Tuesday or Thursday. Has pretty much leaked. They've got a new Surface Duo, which is a foldable phone that looks quite interesting. They're still very expensive. They did also release or leak a couple of the new laptops that they have, and those look pretty hot. And of course, Windows 11 is a coming. We'll be back in a
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we come back, we are looking at some emails. Do you see a entry for AMD? As I said, I don't think that there's anything worth buying in the next couple of days. I think it's going to take the Fed to reassure everybody on Wednesday that there isn't going to be a a ghoul step out from the shadows and say, boo. And generally that only comes from the Fed finally ponying in and throwing some money at the market. Anyway, you gap down today. You only have 31 million shares in AMD, but it looks like you're going to probably close below the 101.97. You need to close back above that to even have a chance. My belief, though, is that we're probably going to see some wholesale selling over the next couple of days. And I kind of like it because I think I'm going to get some very good buys when it's all over. But I think you have to open the door on any of these, even with light volume, to the next bigger, larger level of support, which would be around 92 on AMD. And I think that would, if volume remains light, that may be one of the best entry points for AMD in a long time. I don't think anything has really changed that much. Did get to listen to a good interview this weekend from some analysts that are not on the buy or sell side, i.e., they don't have to impress Intel on what's going on. I was kind of interested mostly because without me spending as much time as they did their entire life looking at it, they basically came up with the same opinion that I had. I did learn a few things about what was going on at Intel that I didn't know. But for an analyst to go back and look and say, hey, the same thing's going on. We've been looking for Intel to retest 5142. I don't think there's any real doubt that we're going to get that. There's some also lows in some other stocks. But no, I'm going to say, generally when you get a big move like this, we haven't had a lot of shorts in the market. You probably, if you don't have a lot of shorts, it probably means you have people on margin. Those people have 3 days. It kind of started Monday, but I'm going to say probably on Wednesday's close. If anybody's having margin calls, you want to be on the opposite side of that until that brouhaha is over. So, no, you move 1,000 points down. If you don't come up 500 points by the end of the day on the Dow, I would be standing there waiting for the lows to come in, because on a minimum, I think you're going to get a fairly good bounce. More than likely, I think you're going to start the rally for this fall. Could a couple other things. I think people are worried about confiscatory taxes, some of the other stuff, and they're kind of running for cover too. There's a lot of things coming at once, not just one issue. I don't think it's just China. I think it's a variety of things. I listed them, or at least some of them, in the newsletter this morning. But I don't think so. I think you want to generally, in big markets with big declines, I think you want to keep your head down for 3 days. And those margin call guys are real. People, especially at highs, have a historical need to go and throw as much money at the market as they can. Now, maybe there are some people that are on Wall Street that have done this, in which case it may even be worse than we think. But until the 3 days goes by, kind of I used this analogy in the newsletter this morning. It's like looking at a still lake. You don't know how deep it is. I'll always remember my friend at 16 had a GTO with a 455 in it. Nothing like a 16-year-old boy with a GTO going 160 miles an hour down the highway. With the tires that we had back in those days, too. Oh, were they horrible. Anyway, he was going under a little bridge for a train bridge, and it rained, and he was just going to drive through that little puddle. Well, the water was up to his above his doors, and, of course, the car conked out. But that's kind of my analogy there. You really are looking at it. You need to go back and wait until some people have put their foot in it to make sure that there's enough depth out there. But I'm never one over the last 23 years, 24 years now of trading to go and say that I'm not going to hold my breath for at least 3 days before I do something stupid. Could it happen? It could. But forecasting is based on what a lot of people are going to do, not on what one person's going to do, like the Fed or the head of the Chinese Communist Party or somebody in France that's making a prediction. It's what the Jesse Livermore called it the composite man. I think James Wyckoff called it the same. And he said to make money, what you really want to do is kind of figure out where the average man is sitting. And I think a lot of them are going, well, maybe I should sell. I'm not short because there wasn't that much. In fact, Friday was the first day we started seeing a little shorting actually come in that was significant. We had one of the lowest shorting days on Wednesday that we've had in a year. So it could be that. Jimmy says he can't hold his breath for 3 days. I was going to say I wanted you to hold your breath, and then I would ask for Blue Boy. I need a little rim shot there. Then I don't have it. Anyway, off 120 on the S&P cash, down 904. So we're a little bit farther down than I thought we would be, but not that far off on the Dow. NASDAQ off almost 500 points. Russell off 69, which is 3%. So the NASDAQ is the worst of the bunch. I am just more than happy that I sold all my long positions on Friday. And I was kind of nervous all weekend. Some of them started actually rallying into the close on Friday. But today, no doubt about it, I'm glad I took my money and ran. And why I always end the show in that same thing, sell when you can, not when you have to. I would have felt today that I would have had to sell. And I think that would have been a worse hit to my psyche than anything else. Now, it wasn't like I lost some money. In fact, I had some wins or modest wins in some of them. And even a good win in one of them. But it was, sometimes you're better off just kind of backing up. Kind of like Maverick in Top Gun. I got to just kind of back up from the gunfight here, get a clear head, and I'm going to come back in probably. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
As we return, we'll take a look at a few more emails. What do you see, AMD? Like I said, let's wait 3 days. I haven't talked about it in a long time because we haven't had anything. But if you're unfamiliar, you're new to the market, margin calls generally come out at 2 times during the trading day. And that is somewhere about now, you'll get an email saying, hey, you are on margin and it's going to close and you're going to get killed. So if you don't sell it in the next 15 minutes, we are gone. And there's 2 things you never want to do in the market. And one of them is get a margin call. That tells you you've done something very bad. Anyway, let's take a look at the SMHs here to complete the answer from Rick. You broke above the previous high. You didn't have, you were close to the same volume. Next low is about, 249.35 from August 19th. Could over the next couple of days you see a route on this? You could. I was kind of thinking we were in this kind of big trading range already. I thought some stocks like AMD, maybe some other ones would hold up. But certainly we've got to be thinking that at least for the next couple of days, we have those issues. And again, you'll generally see some very sharp moves in the market, maybe tomorrow too. But those margin calls are going to come at around 10:30 in the morning and 2:30 in the afternoon. I think they're still 2:30, 2:45. So keep an eye on that for some quick movements, because generally if the street knows those margin calls are coming, what they'll do is just jam the market down and make it 100 times worse for the people trying to get out or getting their stocks forcibly fed to them. And that is something that happens. And of course, Wall Street folk, they're pretty much never give a sucker an even break kind of bunch. They'll all gang up and say, we need to run it down here so we can buy stuff at a better price. So don't believe for a second that doesn't still happen. Okay, we talked about comment on XLE. Dog and Pony is Wednesday for Microsoft. Okay, see what do we see here on the XLE? You're back down to support. Here's the buy probably on the XLE, and that is 46.20. There is that double gap. We've been talking about them. You had 3 gaps on the way up. You've come back and hit all this. I'm not so worried about margin calls in energy as I am in other sectors because you're going to have to drive. But those double gaps are killer for support and resistance. I would look at 46.20 very hard on the XLE. Now, would I buy it today? The answer is no. I'm not buying anything. I may short stuff on a bounce. I was looking for 800, and that's where I covered my shorts from the morning. But that's about it. I don't see a whole lot of reasons to think that there's any reason to get too much. And if I could play it, because YouTube won't let me, I'd be playing Billy Don't Be a Hero right here. Wait until the dust clears. It will. And you'll find a good opportunity to buy. Okay, so we got that one answered. XLE. Market looks like going to accelerate down. You know what? It's not uncommon to find kind of a little bit of a low right here again during this time frame because of the margin calls. So I wouldn't. I'd wait till about 3:30 before making a lot of prognostications about the market, because of course we're going to have those market on close orders also coming through, and that may change the world very massively. Okay, so is that the only one? Okay, I got all those questions answered. Okay, question on Amazon. We'll get here for Rod. We'll look at Mara here in a minute. Amazon. We were saying this thing kind of looked weak. I was kind of surprised that it even got up to, close to 3,500 because it didn't look good all last week. Some of these other ones look better. But it is a big gap down. I don't know what else you can say here. You got decent volume. It's hard to think that you would ever want to short Amazon. I think it's just probably a lot of people taking money off the table. Maybe you get 31.75, which is that August 20 low. You're at fairly decent support right now at 3,300. So maybe it breaks through there, but that's probably more of a China thing with maybe them not getting the kind of stuff that they need. Question about Mara, M-A-R-A. In the den. Got a gap down, fairly large. Support comes in at 26. It's not a huge thing. Got a little bit of support at 29. It's more probably a more thing about. I mean, I don't know if you've got it and you want to hold it or what, but if you wanted to buy it, there's a great deal of support at 26 or 27. Let's call it 26. 27, yeah. 26, 27. That is where the risk reward is, and it might be actually setting up a bigger ABC over time here. You've got a nice movement. If you got back to like 26 or 27, that'd be a fairly nice retracement. 18 to 45. That's 25, 27 bucks. So you go to 27, and it takes you back to 54. If that ends up being an ABC on the way back up, that takes you back to 57, that April 6th high of early spring. So I wouldn't get all excited yet. The energy is not a lot coming off the top on this one. That does not mean you can't have a significant pullback. And if we're talking about the longer term, let's try to get a shorter term version of this thing here. You had one baby ABC here, and the second one up, finished 44.97. So the question is, what would you get on the next expansion? 56, 66. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on it.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And as we wrap up today's special show, we're off 120 on the S&P. Dow is down 918, a little more than I thought earlier in the day that it would be. Down almost 500 on the NASDAQ. Russell's off 79. Crude oil's off $1.50, actually $1.55. Gold's up a little, $11.60. And, you know, I would probably be thinking a lot worse. Got a question about Qualcomm, and see what you have any insight about Qualcomm's business, what the stock price is telling. Okay. I have a feeling that this thing's headed down in parallel with Apple. The thought of actually selling something that doesn't have a killer app, that's actually a technical term in technology. That is the app that actually makes something worth having. There's not a really killer app for 5G quite yet. I think some people will buy it as early adopters. in the start of the computer revolution, the PC revolution anyway, the killer app was a spreadsheet. That sold all the apples that were necessary to boost Apple into the stratosphere. You need that specific app. There'll be something because high-speed, low-latency data is always an issue, especially gaming. Question is, when does that actually happen and where does it happen? It takes a little bit of time to get that going. I'm thinking right now you're just in a big trading range from probably down around that 125 area to 150 area in Qualcomm, waiting for that killer app and everybody to start buying 5G chips from Qualcomm. So big trading range at the moment. I'll be looking to buy it when it gets back down. Sell when you can, not when you have to. We will see tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat.